My finances are perfectly in order. Who am I kidding? That was before having kids. But this year, I'm determined to have AI help me, and I think you can too. This started because I was filling my tax return, and I can get rebates for the bills I pay for my house since I work from home. So I very quickly got the bank statements and asked Claude to help me. So I'll show you what I did, and I'll show you what I plan to do for the year going forward. So next year it will be easier and faster. So here we have Claude Code, and I like using the code mode because it's better with working with files and writing scripts to extract stuff and do a bunch of things. Here I have my 2025 bank statements for all the accounts: credit card, savings, checkings account. And here with Claude Code, we have to choose the folder that it's working from. So I'm going to go to desktop and pick that statements 2025. And Trust Workspace. And now it has access to whatever's in that folder. That's the context it's working with. So one of the things that I need is to figure out how much I spent on internet in 2025. And I can just come here and tell it. In this folder, you'll find bank statements for all the year of 2025. I need to find out how much I spent on internet. Here. And let's go. And now it's going to read all the files and try to figure out that information for me. You can see that it's picking up skills by itself, so it knows how to read PDFs, and it's asking to run this Python script. So I'll allow once because I want it to always tell me when it's trying to run any sort of code. It's installing a library to be able to work with that. So this is what it's trying to do. It's using these keywords that relate to internet, broadband, fiber, T-Mobile. Okay, that is my provider. So now it's using that information to calculate it. And it figured out that anything saying internet deposit is just a bank transfer, not an actual bill. It's complaining about no February charge. I think that's a deposit that they refunded, and then March is unusually high, probably because it changed plans or the discount has finished. So there you go, that's exactly correct. The promotion have finished and they all appear on the credit card, which is also correct. I have direct deposit on the credit card. And here it gave me the amount, and that's the amount I used in my tax return to file for that rebate. That was a quick one-off. It probably spent way more tokens that it needed to, and that's the end of it. We can't do anything more with it. Other than, of course, I asked for other bills that I could claim. But going forward, I want this process to be repeatable, and I want to see anything that you'd see in a financial tracking app. So categories that I can change, and maybe let's go for some charts and things like that. I'm not sure how far we'll go today, but let's give it a go. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new session, of course, because this is a different project. And the reason I'm still working with Claude Code is because the new folder will have a database, so we can save all the transactions in a much easier to read format for Claude. And then we can also use that same folder to build a simple web application that runs locally. Okay, so let's open a new folder, and I created one here in Documents, AI Tools. Let's say new folder, and Financial Tracker. And let's open that. And trust, of course, I just created. And now I'll tell Claude what I want to do here. I want to use this folder to build a financial tracker for myself. Every month, I'll download my statements into this folder and we'll extract them to a local database so that we can do analysis on it. Ask me any questions that you need to refine this idea. Okay, let's see what questions it has for us. So what types of statements? So credit card and banking. Not doing investment and payroll for now. Formats will the statements be in PDF, CSV, that's comma separated values. That's a plain text file, and you can get that from the banks, or spreadsheets. Spreadsheets work in a very similar way. So let's say mix of both. What kind of analysis matter most to you? Spending by category, for sure. Month over month trends. Not setting a budget right now. We can come back later and change that. Income versus expenses. Okay, let's go. How do you want to interact with the data? Command line script. Jupyter Notebook. This is programming thing. Simple web dashboard. And just a database. I'll say, let's start with the database, and then we can write scripts, but the end goal is to have a simple web dashboard. So it has my answers now. How many financial institutions? I'd say maybe 3. How do you want to do? Use the categories from my bank? No, I don't want that. I don't want to do everything manually. Auto-categorize by merchant name. So I'm actually say auto-categorize, but allow me to change the category. So now Claude gave me a proposed design. Let's take a look. Tax tag. Python is a scripting language. It's easier even if you're not technical to kind of figure out what it's trying to do. I think Claude Code goes with that by default, and it's a good idea. I've used that for work a lot. Local database, as I asked. Library for PDF extraction and a library for CSV. Easiest path from scripts to UI. Okay, sounds good. So now inside that folder that I gave it, it's going to create all of this. So a statements folder, parsers, which is going to convert our statements to the database format, and a few scripts. So transactions, accounts, and category rules, that's good. And the flow, you drop a statement, and then we run Python ingest, and Claude's going to help us with everything. You don't need to remember any of this. Auto-categorization runs an import, okay. Few things only your input. The exact column layout of your CSVs. And whether PDFs, For the layout of the CSVs and PDFs, do your best to figure it out the first time you see a different one. And do we want to start building the skeleton? Go ahead and start building the skeleton. So in this folder, the 2026, I have CSVs for the credit card by month, but then the checking and the savings for all the transactions from January to April. And while it works on that, we know that we'll have to put that inside the statements folder. So let's open this one. And let's open a new Finder window and find that folder. So that's in Documents, AI Tools, Financial Tracker. It hasn't created the statements folder yet. Let's see. Okay, let's wait for it to create the folder. All right, there you go. We have the folder. Let's create a new one inside. And let's say 2026. And copy all of this over. Copy. Paste 6 items. There you go. I can close this one. Installing dependencies. So those are the two libraries that it said it would need to read the files. It's creating a virtual environment. This is a very good programming practice. So it's saying that the statements folder is empty, but I bet it's because I haven't checked it. So let's still allow, and it will find some statements in there. So it fixed something that was not working well, and it's trying to run again. It finished its first test. The skeleton is live, and it's showing what it did. So it's asking me to give the files a specific name. I don't want that. I just want to drop them. I don't want to have to rename the files. Work with what you have. There are already some statements in there. So while it works, there's something I wanted to mention, is that you can automate a lot of the things that we're doing here. So you can have Claude talk directly to your bank, or create a connection with the bank and application that will read from there directly. I'm not comfortable enough to have AI handle that part yet. I'd rather have to go in there and manually download my statements and keep an eye on what Claude is doing for a little while. And then, of course, we can reassess. And this will be an iterative process as well. So we're just getting started. We're setting up the database and the basic structure. But every month when I do this, I can maybe implement a new feature or two. And in that way, improve this project with time. So do I want it to run ingest? Yes, please. So what I did now is that it tried to figure out the format of the files that I have in there, and now it's going to read them. And it is a lot more work, but other actions down the line will need fewer tokens because it won't need to read everything again. Okay, so it created a new script. AI is doing a lot of things by itself now that we had to ask it to do a few months back. So quick sanity check on the data quality, that's really good sign. I came across that rule again, that internet doesn't mean it's an internet bill. It means it's transfer. Most transactions land in other because the merchants are Canadian and don't match the US-centric keyword rules. Let's tune up the categories. I never said I was in the US. Now, through the magic of editing, it took you half a second to get here. It took Claude 3 minutes and running, but it got really good data. So it knows I'm in Calgary and I deal mostly with Canadian merchants. Tech person with several SaaS subscriptions, yeah, that's me, and kids' activities and crafts. Okay, so it's trying to run the categories again. Now, my accounts have mostly the recurring bills, and my husband pays for groceries and mortgage, so it might be a little bit skewed for now. I do plan on putting all of our family financial stuff in here. Another script. So now it's it always tells you what it's trying to do. So recategorize and show remaining others. So it will show us what it couldn't find a category for. So side gig, training course. Let's see. You can categorize Soap and More as business. This is one of my side gigs. The second one is donations. Airport kiosk. Third one is food. And the accelerator is education. Can you show me the breakdown? Okay, so it showed me totals, monthly, and by category. Cool. The good thing is, even if I close this conversation, next month, Claude will be able to easily find this information. We won't have to build it again. So I was editing and I realized I never gave you my opinion on how this worked. I think it's good enough for what I need right now. It means I can just open Claude Code and ask it, how much did we spend on groceries last month? Or give me a breakdown of the categories and I can have a pretty good idea on how things are going. You saw that it can pick up outliers and things like that. There are some improvements that we can make for sure. One of them is telling Claude that that folder is the financial tracker. So right now it would need to read that again. And we didn't want that. We wanted to read a summary of what's in that folder and how it works. So that's one of the things that I plan to do. My main goal with this is, can I keep my finances organized in one naptime a month? We'll see. I'll keep you posted. And if you're also a mom trying to run a business and want to learn how to use AI to help you, you can find the link for the Mompreneur AI Club in the description. Leave any questions you might have in the comments, and I'll see you soon.